here in West Jordan, just south of Salt Lake City at the Conservation Garden Park. And joining me is Courtney Brown. And Courtney, I think it's really a demonstration garden, right? Can you tell us a little bit about the history here?
Yeah, the Conservation Garden Park is what it's called. It was started in about the year 2000 when the first phase was built, and it's been built in phases ever since then, mostly through donated funds. Although it's owned by the Jordan Valley Water Conservancy District for the purpose of water conservation, to help people learn about water-wise landscapes and how to make changes in their own yards.
And you've done that in a lot of different ways. Tell us a little bit about some of the things that visitors might see throughout the gardens.
Well, there's dozens of exhibits designed to help people understand landscaping principles and ways to make changes. Irrigation, design principles, maintenance principles, and just plants. A lot of people need ideas for what kind of plants will grow in their yards.
True.
And something that will inspire people and give people ideas and knowledge about and confidence in how to make changes in their yards.
And I think you've done a fantastic job. There's a lot of fun interpretation and signage for people to explore. This particular area we're standing in, though, kind of spoke to me, and I think Oklahoma residents can really relate to some of this stuff. It's your Localscape exhibit. Can you tell me a little bit about this space? So
Localscapes is a design principle for how to do a sustainable landscape. It's a simplified design principle that a homeowner can easily understand and not feel overwhelmed by what it takes to remove lawn and replace it with something that's going to use less water and make irrigation changes. So where we're standing is a Localscapes exhibit, and it's a 1/4 acre lot fenced in, which is a typical lot size for this area. And it incorporates 5 design principles. What this concept does is it takes what people are used to and just flips it right around.
Okay.
So you've got most of northern Utah historically is lawn dominant landscapes. It's not uncommon to find lawn going from someone's foundation all the way to the fence line. And then they'll come in and if they alter that, they'll put in a planter, a kidney bean shaped planter in their yard or something around the house. Localscapes takes that order or that process and changes it completely around. And we start designing with the lawn and a central open shape. Doesn't have to be lawn, but that's the first principle, is a central open shape, something that's ground level. And it can be functional as a lawn or just a gravel space where people can gather or something like that. The second principle is gathering areas. So places where people can gather and talk, like this area next to us here.
Area, yeah.
And those are designed, strategically as needed.
Right.
Then there's activity zones. So activity zones, as the name implies, anything where some activity happens, a vegetable garden, a playground like the one behind me, or a trampoline, or anything like that.
Right.
Isn't it? Even something like a shed, necessary parts of the landscape.
But maybe something that you don't want to have a lot of maintenance around, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to kill your grass
Right.
if you've got a trampoline on it. So how do you design with that?
The advantage to us as in water conservation is that those areas don't require any water. It's part of the landscape. It's providing function and value to the landscape, but no water use.
Okay.
It's hardscape.
Absolutely.
And then we take all those areas and we connect them together with paths. And those can be secondary paths made out of gravel or something like that. So that connects them, provides more function to the landscape. And then the last thing becomes the planter areas. And all the other space is filled in with plants.
Okay.
And of course, there's a lot of design elements associated with that and how to do that. A lot of options as well.
And when you say planter space, you might mean whether it's an in-ground bed near a house or by the front entrance or containers as well?
Yeah, all of that.
Okay.
And the advantage to doing that last is the shapes of those planter beds are going to be irregular. And so it's easy to fill that in with plants and water it efficiently with drip irrigation rather than spray irrigation, which, doesn't bend around curves very easy. So,
well, I love what you guys have here, and it's a true visual for people to walk in and kind of experience it like you're in somebody's backyard here. Again, this is the Conservation Garden Park, and tell us a little bit. It's free to the public if anybody's in town, they want to come visit.
Yeah, it's free to the public. It's open weekdays during the day primarily, and just a lot of interesting things to look at. A lot of different plants for ideas, exhibits of how to do things, and maybe things that you hadn't considered previously. You can get some idea of what it would take to redesign a landscape and install it.
Absolutely. Well, while some of our plants are same and some are different than what you have here in Utah, I know a lot of those same design principles will be applicable to Oklahomans. So thank you so much for sharing this with us.
Thank you.
We hope you enjoyed this video as part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on the OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.